What is going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Aaron here. It is Monday the 19th of May, and guess what we're talking about today? That's right, guys. We're talking all things DeFi and AI agents once again on the channel, guys. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend, got outside, touched some grass. But if you were DGen like me, you would have got into the latest Virgin Genesis Launchpad that is currently sitting at a 53x, guys. And that is, of course, ARBUS. Okay, ARBUS has just done a 53x. And these virtual Genesis launchpads consistently print out outsized gains into the market. And if you're still sleeping on them, then what on earth are you actually doing with your life right now? Because these are the best possible prints in the game at the moment, guys. Okay, now look, I don't know how many points you guys actually put into ARBUS. Now, of course, the Virtual Genesis team did actually put their own 42,000 virtuals in and then actually airdropped those virtuals to V virtual stakers. So even if you didn't actually put into ARBUS points wise, but you are staking V virtual, then do check your wallets. There is a bonus basically for V virtual stakers in ARBUS for you guys to hodl. And I would suggest hodling that. And because at the end of the day, guys, you're going to need the ARBUS token to use the ARBUS platform once it actually launches. Okay, guys. Now, one thing to note, however, is that there is going to be a 1% supply. There's going to be a 1% supply airdrop for Vader stakers, and that's after 14 days. And then it's going to be vested over the course of a month or two. Okay, guys. So do be aware that 1% of the supply is coming onto the market, and add that into your theses when you decide to buy, sell, or hodl on ARBUS. Okay, guys, let's get into the markets before we get too deep into the Virtual Genesis Launchpad. You know what I'm like, guys. We're just going into it all the time. But let's just talk about the markets here. So obviously, we've got a bit of a red day today, a little bit of a reversal. We've got AI agents at 1.2% down. Not that bad, to be honest with you, just a few percent points here. And there are some still really epic gainers by Gloria AI, for example. Look at Gloria AI here, 54.3% up today, massively outperforming the market and getting some great attention here. It's such a rise. Yeah, guys, incredible stuff from Gloria. As you can see down here, 54% up today. Now, of course, Gloria AI is building their news terminal, which, you know, is come from the founders of Crypto Briefing. And as I said on my last video, there's a nice presentation, 8 minutes or so, done by the founder, basically teasing us what we can expect from Gloria AI as they continue to build out their product. But still, 54% rise today, as you can see, massively outperforming most things in the market, apart from Jam here, which is really jamming, 571% up today. That's a pretty incredible rise, guys. That must be inflated in some way, shape, or form. We've also got some nice rises from other Virtual Genesis staking Virgin points projects that you get Virgin points for staking. Acolyte, 20% up today. We've also got a few more outliers here. AIXCB by Virtuals is also up 5%. Sally continues its rise, 3.9%, 50% up this week. Agent Ted, the betting platform, 5.6% up today as well. As you can see here, guys, I'm staying on the positive today because it's Monday. We don't want to talk about what's down. Let's just talk about what's doing well. Vader is recovering from its recent crash, 7.8% up today, 32 million market cap. Now, it was very close, plus touching the 50 million market cap. Now it's back down to maybe more buyable levels, let's say. And as I told you at the start of the video, Vader is doing a lot of now airdrops on top of the Virgin points that you gain for Vader stakers. So they've just done one with ARBUS. And they've got 2 others that they've confirmed as well. And I'm sure they'll have plenty more in the pipeline, basically leveraging their position in the AI agent space for the benefit of its holders, which is, you know, good if you're holding Vader, obviously. We've also got Banker Coin here, 8.1% up today and 27.5% up this week. You know, Banker obviously had that major news, as you can see, that massive swing in the price there when it launched the news announcement of it being integrated into the Coinbase wallet, which obviously gives it exposure to huge amounts of people, and its price is doing well today and this week. Let's move over to DeFi, guys, and see what is going on in our wonderful world of DeFi. Well, as you can see, the market cap is also down by around 1.8% or so, similar to AI agents, to be honest with you. We have some... Look, guys, you know, it's not looking pretty, let's be honest. Most projects here are down between 3 and 7, 8, 9%. There are, again, some outliers, guys. We've got Clever here, 22.1% up today and 57.5% up this week. We've also got Singularity, 35% up today. But in general, you know, yeah, there are some good outliers, guys. Like, listen here, you know, part of the ARC Forge, you know, the ARC ecosystem. 15% up today, but 31% down still this week. But at least it is bouncing. At least it's giving us some hope, guys. And like I said to you before, with the upcoming launch of the AI agent store called Rhizome on ARC, I do think ARC projects do have potential to rise alongside that if the launch is a success, and that's a big if, especially after what they did with the ArcForge Launchpad, which wasn't a big success, let's be honest with you, especially if you compare it to the Virtual's Genesis Launchpad, which has just taken over the world. Look, guys, not a huge amount to report in DeFAI today, or DeFi, depending on how you pronounce it. As you can see, there is, look, Hey Anon is down 5% today. Not really a huge downward curve to be too worried about. Graphane also down a few percentage points, but still, I know Hey Anon have some major announcements to come. Daniele, by the way, Daniele Sesta is joining us for DeFiCon in Istanbul, happening on June 26th, the largest DeFi NEI agent event happening during Istanbul Blockchain Week, guys. Do not miss it. Go meet Daniele and Hey Anon at the show. It's going to be awesome, guys. All right, guys, look, let's get into the news today, not spend too long onto the markets because it's not that exciting, to be honest with you, and there's a lot more exciting stuff happening on the other side. Okay, guys, next up we're talking about Mirai Terminal. Now, Mirai, of course, is the virtual human project launched from a studio in Tokyo, and was a launch partner of the new Holo launch, which is a new launchpad coming from Holoworld. Okay, guys, and Holoworld just announced that over 2 weeks, the next Holoworld launch pool will start very soon, and over the first 2 weeks, staking ARVA gets you extra Mirai. Okay, guys, now look, I'll be honest with you, I was an ARVA staker for the first round of Holoworld launch pool projects, and the rewards were pretty pants. Now, the reason that I asked Holoworld to increase the staking percentage is because we know that Virtual's protocol today, or tomorrow, probably today, is announcing that you'll be able to earn Virgin points from staking the AI agents on Virtuals. And these will be like not the Genesis agents, like the sentient agents, the prototype agents that were launched in the past. Because what we've seen is a lot of the AI agent, previous AI agents, not in Genesis, their liquidity is just getting sucked away by the Genesis launchers for people in the Virtuals ecosystem. So now what Virtuals are trying to do is they're going to create a central hub for people like you and me to stake up to 75 agents outside of the Genesis agents. So on top of that, so Holoworld, what I'm suggesting is that you're going to have a lot of competition for people to stake their liquidity, and therefore you should hope that staking on your platform is going to give people good returns. Otherwise, they're just not really going to do it. Okay, but in general, bullish on Holoworld. Don't get me wrong. Just would have liked to have seen more of a give back to those that believe in the project, that are staking their ARVA tokens. In addition to all of this, guys, we also heard the news that Mirai is now available on Abstract Chain. So, of course, very quickly has now bridged across onto Abstract Chain. Now, let's not forget, Abstract Chain is a chain for streamers, for creators. So it does seem to be like a good fit for Mirai. Now, who knows? Probably there's going to be just guessing, there's probably going to be a Pudgy Penguin, partnership on the cards in the future, probably once Mirai sees a bit more traction and Pudgy can trust the brand more. So Mirai also announced some partnerships with the two of the top Solana meme coins, as you can see, Mudeng Sol and also Peanut Solana. As you can see here, there's a cute image of Mirai and a Mudeng. Nothing really has been told about exactly what this means for the project and what this partnership entails, but of course, at the very least, it's a co-marketing thing. And Mirai is obviously trying to attract as much attention as possible outside of the existing AI agent, niche community that we regularly talk about on this channel. Now, if we head over to OKX here, we can actually see the price action for Mirai. It's sat at $18.2 million market cap. It's holding up pretty well, to be honest with you. That's not a small market cap in this space. As you can see, it did massively come out quite high. It did very well. For those that sold the top, they would have sold 30 million market cap. It's now come back down to 18 or so. But still, it's solid. It's a solid market cap. It's not a bad launch, to be honest with you. As you can see, after the initial dump from 32 all the way back down to 13, it's then risen significantly right back up pretty much to its all-time high again before showing some signs of a reversal. Not surprising. So let's see how Mirai does from here. Obviously the jury is still out, guys. It's still very, very, very early. There's been some positive, some negative. I'm seeing, we haven't seen the team behind Mirai speak too much about Mirai on their social media channels, for example. Is that because they're waiting for a more significant product launch? Probably. It wouldn't make sense for them not to talk about it, right? But these are just baby steps in the first few days of the virtual human Mirai life. So look, we'll be keeping an eye on it. We'll be keeping you regularly updated on what Mirai is doing on this channel, guys. So don't worry, we've got you covered. All right, guys, next up, we're talking about a recent Bankless podcast that was recorded by Jansen Teng, the co-founder and CEO of Virtuals Protocol, and the Bankless team. Now, what Jansen actually said in this interview was that they're coming out with a new tool called 69. Yes, that's right, 69. 69 Virgin points. I don't know, it's all getting a little bit weird for me. But anyway, let's just focus on what this 69 tool actually means. Well, Jansen explains in the podcast that a lot of founders that want to get started or want to experiment in crypto in general, never mind in AI, if they abandon a project, of course, they get called a rugger and they get a lot of hate from the community. So it looks like what Virtuals Protocol is trying to do here is to actually bring down the barrier to entry in terms of the risk for a founder to try to actually join, the AI agent Virtuals ecosystem without actually being called a rugger if they decide not to proceed with the project. So it's almost like a trial period for a founder or a team to come together and see if they get the right, the right traction that they're looking for from the community, and to see if the project is actually doable long term, instead of just being called a rugger if they decide to try something else. And so I see what the Virtuals Protocol team is trying to do here, and I do encourage it, because obviously anything more that adds more projects and makes it easier to join the ecosystem, I think is obviously a net positive for the space. But basically, so what is 69 days? So basically it allows the project founder after 69 days to discontinue the project. Let's say they didn't get it right, there wasn't the right traction, they couldn't find the right team, the product market fit wasn't there, the community didn't like it. They can actually just close down the project, and everyone who owns a token in that liquidity pool will then be refunded back the liquidity back to them. So like basically they will get their money back from the liquidity pool. Now obviously liquidity pool has two sides. It has the token and it has the USDT, let's say, or USDC. So that the USDC would be delivered back to the token holders. And however, if after 69 days the founder really likes and is happy to move forwards with this initial testing period, then the founder would press commit on the Virtuals dashboard, and then the project would actually live on and would go and continue. So like I said, the main reason to do this is to allow founders to come into the ecosystem without the risk of being called a rugger or a failed project or whatever it is, knowing that the community can get their funds back, and knowing that, look, in a startup space, sometimes things just don't work, okay? And so I do think this is interesting for Virtuals to do this. I mean, they're constantly coming out with shipping new features, new innovative strategies and ways to get more points, etc. So I'm positive on this. Obviously, this is almost going to be like like the Binance exchange what is it called, the Binance Alpha, almost, where new projects go on there and then before they actually graduate to the main exchange. Now, of course, this is going to be a big risk. Okay, it's going to be a big risk if you're putting your funds there, but obviously big risk comes with big reward, right? And I'm sure the DGens will be in there looking for some major founders. Now, there was an interview that I watched over the weekend. It was Binance CZ Fireside Chat with Raoul Paul from Real Vision. Basically, what CZ was saying was, look, there's loads of good ideas in crypto. There's loads of good ideas, but difficulty is finding good founders. Okay, difficulty is finding good founders, not coming up with good, cool ideas. Cool ideas everywhere, but does the founders have commitment? Do they have the drive? Do they have the passion? Do they have the energy to actually see a project through into its inception? And you know what? It is pretty rare. But the only way that Virtuals and our ecosystem is ever going to know is if we give them a chance to do so without making them so scared that their reputation is completely destroyed just because they didn't like the project. So, I think it's a cool idea, guys. It's a cool idea from the Virtuals team. Let's see how it goes. He said on this interview that it should be out Wednesday. He might be referring to this Wednesday, next Wednesday, who knows? But let's keep an eye on this, guys, the 69-day tool, as they call it. And ultimately, it's just fantastic to see Virtuals continuing to ship new product, new innovative strategies, and basically just continue to push, which makes me so bullish, really, on what Virtuals are building, because they're also consistently listening to the community and also coming up with new innovative ways for projects to bootstrap liquidity and the community. So look, guys, we'll put the video in the description, and do check it out. Good interview, Bankless team. All right, guys, diving back into the Virtuals Genesis Launchpad, where are we going to get our next cook from this week? Well, so glad you asked. Let's get into this. But before we get into this, a quick warning. Bernie AI, the ticker is Roast. His tokens unlock in 7 days, it says here, but actually it's just a few hours now before it loses its green lock status. It will get yellow lock status, meaning that you can JEET, sell your bags, and not go to JEET jail. Meaning there's going to be more sell pressure. Meaning the current price is already like 2.27 million, guys. It's been pretty wrecked. So yeah, at the moment, Roast is on toast. And yeah, be careful, guys. You might, I don't know, front running the sale probably isn't a good idea, because then you'll go to jail. But yeah, it's not looking good. There was a video put out there by the Bernie team on their X account. I believe that was on Saturday, basically explaining what they're planning to do to bring the price up. I think they should just relock their tokens again, so people can start earning diamond hand bonuses, obviously, as well as announcing partnerships, etc., and actually show some traction with the Bernie AI agent. But yeah, it's not looking good out there. So don't get dumped on, guys. Just be careful. Once that changes to yellow, everyone can sell. It's basically a green light, okay? For like, imagine like a Formula One race. Any of you watched the race this weekend? It's a great race. Max Verstappen won the Italian Grand Prix. I'm a pretty big Formula One fan here on this channel. But anyway, let's not get distracted. Yeah, be careful with Bernie AI. Now, the best cook coming up that I can see is Busy. Okay, Biz. Now, why is it the best cook? Well, firstly, it actually it was a top 3 performer in the Virtuals AI Hackathon. Now, so far, we've only seen, well, Bernie was one of the top 10 of the Virtuals Hackathon, but we have never seen a top 3 in the Virtuals protocol. ACP Hackathon actually do their Genesis launch. So Busy is going to be the first one to do that. And as you can see, their token unlocks in 92 days. So they have a 3-month lockup, which is one of the highest that I've actually seen on the Virtual Genesis Launchpad itself. Now heading over to Twitter, we have Vader. Now obviously Vader is everywhere in Virtuals protocol and has all the alpha, and is obviously very, very well implanted because Vader actually worked with Virtuals protocol to come up with the concept of the Virtuals Genesis Launchpad. Anyway, so what Vader was saying was that Busy is a tier 1 project. Okay, so Vader was saying is one of his favorite projects from the Virtuals Hackathon, working a unique social product, docs founders with strong backgrounds. The only downside is that this will likely not be the main platform token, but a proxy of it. Still not bad. But actually, if you head over to the Virtuals protocol website, where we can see where we've got more information about Busy, there's actually more details about the project down here, which I highly recommend everyone reads themselves. But going further down there, just to allay the concerns of what Vader said about it not being the main token, in phase 3, they do mention, phase 2 here, they do mention that you'll get early access to the buzzing platform and then conversion rights into buzzing tokens. So that says to me that, yes, the Busy token originally is just for the AI agent Busy, but eventually you'll be able to convert that into a buzzing token, which will be the platform token, and a share in protocol revenue and governance. Just to answer that concern from Vader. Now let's talk more about Busy. Now Busy is, like I said, a top 3 standout from the Virtuals Global Hackathon. It also has 2 very strong founders, guys, that have worked at some major projects in the past. And so basically, what is this? Well, we can basically explain this as the ultimate trading assistant for prediction markets. Okay, so look, we know poly market and gambling markets have been getting very, very popular recently, and we've also seen some success with like Milli Bets, D King. So I think this betting is not going to go away, like this betting narrative. And basically with Busy, in phase 1, you're able to basically get real-time insights for every new poly market, and even ask questions by tagging the bot, the Busy agent. So what does this actually mean? Well, it can help you make smarter betting decisions. A little bit basic in phase 1, as you might expect, but in phase 2, that's when it actually starts to get really quite interesting. Basically they start launching buzzing, which buzzing is the platform. Okay, that's the social media, gambling platform, I suppose you could call it. And how this is going to work is buzzing is going to leverage Busy's automation to streamline rule creation, liquidity management, and Oracle data, delivering unmatched efficiency and scalability. Okay. So yeah, I guess if you're using the buzzing platform, it becomes a lot more immersive. It's social media with prediction markets built in. Originally, phase 1 is just going to be the Busy agent itself, which you can interact with. It sounds like there's going to be a Chrome extension, it says here as well. And then in phase 3, they talk about this AI Oracle, which is stake tokens to support dispute resolution and maintain the Oracle's economic security. And then they also go on to say that Busy can then obviously be used in different platforms in the future as well. So look, guys, it's going to be quite interesting. There's a lot of information here for you guys to take in. They also mention on here that in the future, they're going to be part of ACP, Agent Commerce Protocol. Now, I see a lot of projects say that, but the fact that these guys basically came on the podium for top 3 position for the actual official Virtuals Hackathon leads me to think that that's probably already in traction, like it's already happening. So I do believe that will happen. And so look, guys, I think Busy is going to be the next cook for sure. And we're only 1 day, 5 hours away from being able to commit. The commitment period is 24 hours. So, we're basically 2 days away from launch. And this is the project that's getting people most excited. Now, there are a couple of other projects launching also at the same time, but none of them are getting as hot as Busy. Okay, guys. So look, save your points. I would suggest. I think Busy's going to cook really hard. I've been saving my points recently for the next major cook, and it looks like Busy is the one to place your bets. Okay guys, to round off today's video, we have just had a tweet from Virtuals Protocol, hot off the press, about agent staking. Now, I did mention agent staking earlier in the video when we were doing the market analysis. Well, actually, they've just announced what is going on here. So firstly, there's now over 70 plus agents that's available to be staked that earn you those sweet, sweet Virgin points. That's the headline news. But to get into the details here, you can actually see that there's a switchover period, okay, which ends on Thursday, May the 22nd, so in around 3 days or so. And you only have until then to basically move your agents across. If you're just blindly holding the agents, now you have to commit them into the staking contracts. But be careful, because there is a 14-day unstaking cooldown now as well, integrated into these staking contracts. So only move your agent tokens over if you're aware that you have 2 weeks from pressing unstake to actually receiving them back. So yeah, look guys, obviously Virtuals Protocol is doing this to help their other agent projects in the ecosystem, the sentient and prototype agent projects, to actually gain more liquidity and to get more, to basically help their price, let's be honest. And to make sure that they're not the most unwanted agents in the whole of the society, because the Genesis agents is taking all of the attention. But having said that, it'll be interesting to see where these points are coming from, because Virtuals are always providing more and more points almost on a bi-daily basis for like new things like vVirtual, and now with this agent staking for 70 plus projects, where's all the points coming from? They need to be coming from somewhere, because previously Trencher points started at around 70% plus, now it's down to 50%. Is Trencher points going to keep going down? It looks like it is, and it'll be interesting to see the pie chart in the Virtuals Protocol hub to see exactly where these points are coming from, so that you, when you're doing your strategy, can decide. Because I mean, look guys, this Virtuals Virgin point strategy is changing every day. People are freaked out. Yapping is not as great as it was before, since now Kaito's been integrated, and obviously trenchering actually is not actually getting that many points. So we're going to be working on this every day together, guys. So watch the channel, make sure you do get the alpha. But look, if you just want to stake and chill and you're fine with that, then be sure to head over to Virtuals Protocol, Genesis Launchpad, and actually stake those tokens by Thursday. Heading over to the Virtual Genesis Launchpad, they now have updated the list of agents here. So you can see all of the agents, and as you can see here, they're not just all Genesis agents, there's some older agents in here as well. And there's 70 plus right now, and Virtuals have also said if you're not in this list, then feel free to basically request to be in this list and work with the Virtuals team to get you up there. So it's good to see that the Virtuals Protocol team is doing some good work with the existing agents that exist before Genesis came along. But again, where are these points coming from, and how well rewarded are you? We'll see, and I guess that will be for an upcoming video. Alright guys, that's a wrap once again for your daily dose of DeFi and AI agents, guys. I hope you've been enjoying the content. If you have, please don't forget to hit the bell notification, like, comment, subscribe below. I would love to hear from you. Look guys, the Virtuals Genesis Launchpad looks like there's no show of slowing down. It is keep printing 50, 60 X's, and on this channel, we're going to keep you informed on the latest and greatest updates on the Virtuals Protocol, so no Virgin gets left behind. Thank you guys so much for joining me once again, and we'll see you again back here tomorrow.